Yes, everyone, what's going on? My name is Stephen Howson. This is a tactical preview of Manchester United, Copenhagen, Europa League, quarter-final, 3 games from the gold. Simple as that. Little straightforward, almost World Cup style knockout tournament. As it says down there, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you're new around here. Here's what Ollie had to say about this little run. He says, let's see how long it lasts. Hopefully more than 2 days, hopefully up to 12. We're going to approach it 1 game at a time. Everyone's going to travel Sunday morning or Saturday night and we'll stay together for as long as we're in the tournament. On the playing time, he says, now we travel to Germany with a squad that's had enough game time. These players needed to play tonight to get their rhythm and their confidence to get the feel of the game. It won't be the same team, so we'll make some changes. On whether Romero is his Europa goalkeeper, he says he's played tonight. He played well tonight, but I'm not going to say Sergio is the Europa keeper. It's between him and Dave all the time. We're going to pick a team we think is going to win the tournament. He's got a full quota to choose from, except from Delo, Shaw, Tuanzebe and Phil Jones, so like pretty much a back four there. Copenhagen have got a full strength squad, including David Moyes' first signing as United manager, that fella Varela, who is their first choice right back. In the past, we have played against Copenhagen. Both times was in the 2006-07 Champions League group stage. We beat them 3-0 at Old Trafford in the first meeting. Paul Scholes, John O'Shea and Kieran Richardson managed to get on the score sheet before Copenhagen won the return 1-0 over in Denmark. We have won 15 of our last 22 games since losing to Burnley in January, with the 3-1 defeat to Chelsea the only one that we've had since then. We are 7 wins out of 10 in the Europa League this season, losing just once against Astana in the group stage where we debuted all the academy lads. We've scored the most goals and we've conceded the least in the competition, so things are looking good on that front. We beat Bruges 6-1 on aggregate in the round of 32 before completing a 7-1 aggregate against Lask in the round of 16. United's last 3 results: 2-1 against Lask last week, 2-0 against Leicester and 1-1 against West Ham. Copenhagen have won their last 3 games following a 6-game winless run in the Danish Superliga. They've played 12 Europa games this season, winning 5, just 2 of which came from home. Copenhagen did knock out Celtic 4-2 on aggregate in the round of 32 before coming back losing 1-0 against Istanbul to win 3-1 on aggregate in their round of 16. Their last 3, they beat Istanbul 3-0, they beat Nordsjælland 2-1 and AAB Aalborg 1-0 as well in the league. For me, I think Solskjaer has to now switch into his best team. I can understand the reasons to rotate, and I kind of agree with him, but the word on the street is that he's going to go full strength, and some of these lads are not going to get any opportunities for rest. Some of these lads are not going to get anything. He wants to win this trophy. He doesn't see it as job done. We qualified for the Champions League. He sees this as the opportunity for a trophy. I do have my reservations about that going into next season. I've seen a few comments, I mentioned this in the last couple of videos, someone saying, why do we care about the Euros? It's not United. Because the Euros is at the end of the coming season. Basically, what's going to happen now is United are going to play for another 2 weeks if we get to the final. Then you've got 3 weeks from the final to the season starting for United. Now, that's not a long time. These players need a rest. And for everyone going, oh, they had 3 months off. No, they had 3 months off matches. They didn't stop training. They trained every day. So they trained every day. There's also got the stresses of what's happened in the last 6 months. This isn't as straightforward as like, yeah, look, we're all tired. I don't finish here till midnight, 2 o'clock in the morning sometimes. I'm tired, but I'm not playing elite level sport where 1% here or there makes a massive difference. 3 weeks is not enough for a break and a pre-season. You've seen it countless times when teams have to start in that early Europa or Champions League phase. It burns them out. You can't maintain the level for that long. There has to be ebbs and flows. Fergie knew this, and Fergie used to send his players on holiday quite often in the middle of the season. Solskjaer, I hope, has learned from that. He's going to have to know when to play the right card and know when to mix it up. Something that he's not been great at as Manchester United manager so far. We saw after that initial run sort of started to fall apart after his undefeated opener as a manager. It started to crumble because it was the same team week in, week out, and they just couldn't keep it up. Then we saw that happen again this season, and they've just sort of stumbled as it got to the end because they just couldn't keep it up. Now, that takes some physical adaptations, which the players can get used to. You've seen the same thing happen at City. at Liverpool, at Leeds, at anywhere that you've got a manager that demands an incredible amount of work. It happens, and it happens with a little bit of adaptation. It can happen with Solskjaer, but it needs time. It just needs time. There's no way to like turbo boost it up and make it happen quicker. 3 weeks would be a great break for the players, but then 3 weeks' time, they have to be suiting up and playing for the Premier League. There needs to be a good 5 or 6 weeks build-up at least for the players. Have the time off and then come in and start building on the basics of fitness again and the intensity again and then the patterns of play again on top of that. There is no opportunity for United to do this. So this is what worries me. United go into a season not fully refreshed and also at the same time not fully prepared to start a season. Because you have to let everything settle and then start again. So you're not going to get an ample rest and you're not going to get ample preparation. And this burnout that we've seen isn't going to go away because we've burnt the candle at both ends. And we need to let the players have some time off. They're not going to get that. Then they're going to play a full season. United are going to be expected to compete on every front. And when we don't compete on every front and our fan base loses its fucking mind, people are going to be asking why. So this is why I think Solskjaer needs major reinforcements in the squad and he needs major reinforcements from the academy to help take some minutes off. He also got to be able to trust the players that he puts into that 11 to do that, which I don't think he does at the moment. Then the Euros are at the end of that. So when most of the United players are international. There aren't many players that aren't international that play for United. So when it comes to the end of this season coming, instead of having a break, instead of going away and getting a good little bit of rejuvenation, the players are going to be playing in the Euros. The stress, the competition, the injuries, all of those things are just going to come straight back. So you say it doesn't matter. Nemanja Matic needed the time off to get back to the level that we've seen him play recently. That was just time off, really, that did it for him. He didn't really come back from the World Cup. Neither did Jesse Lingard. Players can't do it constantly. Doesn't matter how much you pay them, they're still human beings. And there's an adaptation process that has to happen and it takes a long time. You can't just say, well, just be fitter, I'm paying you loads. It doesn't fucking work like that. So I do worry for United if we don't massively reinforce. And for all the people that are like, why buying Sancho? What's he going to do to Greenwood? I see that as being able to give people ample game time and maintain the level of performance because you've got different players that can fulfill different roles. So that's what I think is massively important for us to remember about this competition and also about what's going to happen next season as well. Right, I've waffled on enough about that, but I did think it was important consideration for this competition. Let's have a look at my starting 11. So that's United's strongest 11. Any questions? Big Dave in net, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Williams, Matic, Pogba, Bruno, Greenwood, Martial, Rashford. If that team is fit, fresh, ready to play, we absolutely fucking obliterate Copenhagen. No two ways about it. If that team isn't quite rested, isn't quite ready to play, one thing that I think is a big bonus for us in this competition is we're going into this all in one place. So there's no travel now. Your quarters, your semis and your final, if needed, are all in one place. So the team can focus and concentrate and knock this little 3 games out. Hopefully that's good for everyone. Hopefully that's good for the rejuvenation process that needs to happen. And hopefully we return from Germany a cup heavier. If that's the case, fucking delighted. I'm going to head over to the Discord chat if you want to get involved with that and also support the channel. And also as we enter transfer season, if we've got any little scoopsies or anything like that, then they'll go to the Patreon group. And as you'll learn, it's pretty fucking bang on the information that we get. Early warnings on contracts, early warnings on whether deals are legit or not. It's all in there. Right, this. So a couple of questions have been asking about who plays. I don't want to see a second string. There might be 1 or 2 players from the first 11 missing and rested, but I do expect Solskjaer to now really start to turn the screw and play his best 11. And I would not be shocked to see the same 11 for the next 3 games, injuries permitting. Matt says, do I think it'd be a strong team from the start with what looks like Ollie going all out for it? Then a host of subs if we're free up by half time, potentially. Any key players we need to look out for? I haven't managed to look at Copenhagen that much at all. I've seen a few highlights of them, so I wouldn't be confident talking about what they're going to be like, especially. It's just been carnage. If Laird doesn't start or come on in this game, how close do I think Ollie sees him as a realistic option for the first team next season, or is there a scenario he goes out on loan? He's one of several players I think they're trying to get out on loan, including the likes of Levitt and that. So we will see, but I think both of them could go and do a fantastic job in the Championship. I wouldn't expect to see him. If you didn't see him against Lask, I don't expect to see anyone new that you've not seen. Do I think we'll see earlier subs in this mini tournament if they're working the same as domestic games with 5, that is, given that this is going to end up doubling as pre-season? No, I think they'll just treat it as this is the games and not necessarily treat it as pre-season. I think they're just going to have it. Can we rely on our second team if they do start? No. I think Copenhagen was too strong for our second team. LASK the other day was fucking shocking, and they took the lead against us. A better team holds that lead. If we get to the next round, there is a chance we can come up against Wolves. What do I think of our chances if we do? As we've struggled against them in the past few seasons, and our record for the last 5 games is 1-1, drawn 3, lost 1. I think with Bruno, we're okay. Especially if we've got Bruno and Pogba. And Doi is Copenhagen's top scorer with 9 in 14. Decent record for a 34-year-old. Is he their danger man? I said I don't know. As I haven't watched enough of them to have a confident thing where I can say this is exactly what they're going to do. So let's say yeah. Do I get annoyed that everyone asks about the lineups when they know you'll have gone through my team already? Yep. I do the same formula every week, lads. I'm going to give the team. While I love the trophy as a must, mentality is going all in on the Europa mistake given the injuries, a thin squad and a long season. Is it going to cost us next year? To be honest, I think so. Yeah, I'm never going to want to see us lose a game, and I'm never going to say let's not go for a trophy. But I think the scenario we find ourselves in, winning a Europa League now isn't going to make up for coming 6th next year if we do. And it ain't going to save anyone's job. So I think Ollie should look after himself and maybe play a rotated squad and protect his big assets, Martial, Rashford, Bruno, Pogba, from burnout and have them fit. Almost even give them the next few weeks off, let them get rested and maybe bring them back for a final if you're there. Give him a couple of weeks. Or he should have already done this from the end of the Premier League season. You lot, 2 weeks off. Don't fucking come in. And then you can start to build their fitness up. Especially those 4. Those 4 don't necessarily need a lot of fitness building up. Do I think Romero will start or Dave? I think he's going to go with Dave. Is the we want to win it all that Ollie's shown recently exactly what we've been missing since Fergie? I think Louis and Jose both had that mentality. I don't know about David Moyes, but I think those two both had that mentality, yeah, for sure. And I know Jose folded and gambled to go in on the Europa League at one point, but I still think he would like to try and win it all. Nice to see United players getting what is demanded of them when playing for United. Yeah, I do agree with that. Can we take this opportunity to continue resting Matic, Bruno and Marcus, or do I think they'll be thrown in? Already covered, but yeah, I do think they'll be thrown in. How much extra encouragement can Solbakken instill in his players, knowing that he was in charge when they beat a superior side to this one in 2006? And how tricky could this tie be as a result? If you've watched United, if you even watched the LASK game, the way Lask came and pressed us caused us problems. We got away with it because the likes of our midfield had a little bit more on the ball than LASK did. They were a little bit fitter, they were a little bit more tricky, and we managed to get through it. A better team causes this United team problems, or causes that United team problems. I don't know about the 11 that I selected, but the one that played against Lask absolutely gets caused problems. How important is this trophy for Ollie's reputation from the media? As I just mentioned, if we come 6th next year, it doesn't fucking matter. But if he wins this trophy and then continues to build on this, and we start well and we are, in the top 3, I think it will be quite useful. I can't believe Frank Lampard has been up for manager of the season. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you actually fucking kidding me? Provided we beat Copenhagen, do I who do I think we'll face in the semi? Wolves or Sevilla? And who would I want to face? I would like to face Sevilla. I think they're not as difficult an ask as Wolves. I think the way Wolves line up is particularly tricky for us, and I'd be more confident facing Sevilla, even though that they've dealt with us in the past. I think they're more of a formality than what Wolves would be. If we win this, can we fuck Mourinho's one back at UEFA? What's up with us in Copenhagen? I swear we meet them every other season. Not really, but we have met them. Knowing Solbakken is a very clever tactician, how much risk can Ollie afford to take with the number of rotations? I don't think he can. Copenhagen are a far better side than LASK, and I think what we saw with LASK, first 10 minutes or so especially, they really started to press us, and we could have crumbled at that point, and a better team will make us crumble. United have to find a way of playing through that, because we're not very good at it at the moment. So that's something that I would like to see us work on and solve before pre-season or in pre-season. It's going to be bloody hard for us because teams have identified that. The best job I saw was Manchester City in the League Cup. They fucked us with it. They absolutely battered us with it. And all that was David De Gea and Phil Jones largely being targeted for that. But the point stands, we just give them the ball back every single time. So we have to be better than that. Copenhagen are an ask, but they're a much winnable. They're a very winnable game for United. We play well. We take our chances. We're in the fucking semi-final. And for me, it's as simple as that. So let's see what the crack is. I won't be on a watch-along, but make sure to tune in for the lads and see what's happening. And I'll see you guys in a post-match. And let's hope we're in a semi-final by then. Laters.